3, 2, 1.
Welcome to The Peaceful Truth, the podcast where we talk about everything from feminism, feminist issues, and everything in between. You are joined by your co-hosts, Meghan Hoharts and
Kenzie and Meghan. Woohoo!
Hello, we're back.
We're back. I loved last week's episode.
I got a lot of good feedback from our friends.
Oh, good. So what was it, Meg? So in case they didn't listen, what did they miss out on?
We had on Maggie Cole and Lindsay Francis. They are from my yoga teacher training, and they talked about mental health, addiction, overcoming addiction, and how yoga, wellness, meditation, mindfulness has helped them through the path.
Awesome. It was a really good one. So
It was deep.
It was deep. We went real deep, actually. But it was good.
Yeah.
It was needed. So how's your week been?
It's been good. Yesterday, we went to Bellingham, which is a small town close to the Canadian border.
It's gorgeous.
And we had lunch, went to breweries, played games. There's pinball machines, comic book stores. It's just like a very interesting town.
That's really cool. I really think it's pretty. This week I've been sick. You can probably hear it in my voice. Like, I love how well Meghan knows me. She walks in, she goes, "You're sick." I just said hi in like a nasally voice. So I apologize for the nasaliness this week. But yeah, I was just under the weather. But besides that, it's been a good week. I went to this really cool speakeasy on Friday. It was so cool, Meghan.
What was it called?
It's called Needle and Thread. Maybe they don't want it out there and publicized, so I apologize. But it's like above another bar in Capitol Hill. And to make a reservation, someone else made it. And the person told me that they had to like write it on a piece of paper the time they wanted and like submit it into a box, and then they got an email back whether they or not they got the reservation. And like the bartenders, there's no drink menu, and so they're like really professional bartenders, so you tell them like the mood you're in and they make you a drink based off that mood or your taste.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was so good.
So what did you say your mood was?
Well, first I just kind of described what types of drink I like. I like refreshing, a little sweet, but not too sweet, and citrusy. Mm-hmm. And it was really refreshing. It was really good.
Perfect.
I don't even know what was in it. There was a bunch of stuff in there. And then we both wanted like just to say an adjective and for them to think of a drink based on the adjective. And they just came back with drinks based on. It was so cool.
What was your adjective?
Mine, we were doing it for each other. Mine was tenacious. Which I need to like Google the exact definition of tenacious.
What does it mean? I think it means like high energy. I don't know.
And that person's was adventurous.
I want to Google
like
what
a
it
cool
means.
whiskey. Yeah. Okay. Google it for me. So, and then yesterday I went to Jewish Passover, which I've never done before.
What was it
A
like?
couple of my roommates are Jewish, so it was really interesting. So you like have a book that you follow the rituals with while you're eating this like several course meal. Like it's several courses long.
Was it good?
Yeah, and you do all these traditions and read about all these interesting things that have happened in their history. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. So what does it mean?
Okay, this is weird. This means nothing like what we thought.
Oh no, is it a bad adjective?
I mean, I don't know. Okay. Tenacious, tending to keep a firm hold of something, clinging or adhering closely.
So persistent.
Yeah.
That's what could be what it means.
Determined, strong-willed, tireless. These are other synonyms.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, that's better.
The synonyms are better than the actual definition itself.
There you go. So yeah, so that was my weekend besides my little cold, which I haven't let give me any hiccups. But so what are we talking about today, Meghan? What's our topic?
Our topic is about women and politeness and kind of what that means for us in our culture.
Yeah, so the title might be something like "Screw Politeness" or something like that, because I don't want to steal a different podcast phrase, which is, and I'm quoting, politeness. But so I'm not talking about, before I wanted to like preface something. I'm not talking about being a good human or being polite in general. Those things are great, but like when you legitimately need to stick up for yourself, and then you're considered rude, like even when you're just sticking up for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
So that's kind of what we're talking about today. So Megan, you said you were kind of discussing this with a friend, and what did you discover about that?
So a friend of a friend is going back to university to not get a degree or anything, but just to take some studies on women's studies.
That is so cool.
And one of the classes is focused on women in leadership roles. So maybe bosses or just having a leadership role as a woman through your career. And she's learning that if a woman... Let me start from the man side. If a man is really easy to get along with and really compassionate and really supportive of everybody's career, then other people will comment and say, "Oh my gosh, that man is so compassionate. I love working with him. I can't speak highly enough of him." Whereas if a woman has those tendencies, since that's what we're supposed to be compassionate and loving and supportive, then it's just like nobody even comments on it because that's the way a woman is supposed to be. But if a man has those same tendencies, then we go above and beyond and think it's like this most wonderful boss we've ever had.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting. Polite was also one of the words. If a man is polite versus a woman in leadership roles, then we want to make a point of it to point out how polite they're being. Whereas if a woman's polite, that's normal.
Yeah.
No attention needs to be drawn to that fact.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I think this topic in general is super engaging. So here's where I think like the politeness definition began. I did a little research on the history because I'm a history minor, so I always have to have context. So why are we like needing to be called polite? Like why are we sorry, I have a cold brain. Why are we why are we considered we needing to be polite? Anyway, it's being called, typically we used to be called crazy for having emotions or hysterical. So I think the extreme of all of this is the remedy to that. So if we're polite, we're not crazy. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So being called crazy, which still happens today. Do you feel like you've heard that for most commonly women? Like if a woman's called, "Oh, that girl's crazy," and she just like has emotions.
Yeah. I mean, I've called myself crazy.
I've called myself crazy. And then what's horrible for my guy friends, sometimes will be like, "Oh yeah, you're right. She's crazy."
Mm-hmm.
Like, which is bad. Like I shouldn't do that. And I like take ownership in that. But they used to, like when women, they considered women hysterical. They used to send them to asylums and like treat them in certain ways for things that are probably pretty standard. So I'm taking from some of this from the Huffington Post. Catherine Pearson was the person who wrote this, but hysteria was a mental disorder attributed solely to women. And it used to be cured with herbs, sex, or abstinence, punished with fire, and then clinically studied. And,
oh my God.
And that is actually from a journal article called Women in Hysteria and the History of Mental Health. And that's an academic article written by Cecilia Marangella, Mario, and Bianca.
So if we were portraying emotions in hysteria, then we were crazy, and then we were either forced to have sex or sex was taken away from us.
Yeah.
And then we were treated with fire.
Because it had something to do with sexuality.
Interesting. And then this article was saying that this only happened to women.
Yes. So we intend to historically identify the two dominant approaches toward mental disorders, the magical demonological and scientific views in relation to women. So not only is a woman vulnerable to mental disorders, she is weak, easily influenced by the supernatural, and she is somehow guilty of sinning and not procreating or something like that.
Oh my gosh, I just have the best idea in the entire world. I cannot believe we haven't thought of this before.
What? For a future episode?
Yes.
Ooh, let's
tease
it out.
The witch trials.
Oh my God.
Why have we not thought of this before?
It's going to be lit.
The witch trials are...
I didn't mean to make a joke on that either.
The witch trials are literally one of my favorite things to read about.
Me too. Holy crap.
Why did we not know this about each other?
We got to.
Okay.
Damn, that was a good Halloween episode.
I
That would
feel
have been
like
a good
it
one.
could be like a 2-parter.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay. We got new ideas.
Maybe we can do it next week.
Next week. Tune in.
I really want to do it.
No, I'm serious.
Perfect. Because this all has to do with this. You know that they thought that they were hysterical.
Yeah, I was thinking about it in the back of my mind. Yeah. But
Perfect.
I didn't think of let's do a whole episode, which is a wonderful idea. I was like, oh yeah, the witch trials. This is basically genius, Megan. Okay. So, and thus the mental disorder, especially in women, so often misunderstood and misinterpreted, generates scientific or moral bias defined by pseudoscientific prejudice. So I just think that it's so bad. And she is somehow guilty of sinning. I think that, like, as the background, like women, if they're loud and not polite and they're hysterical based on this stereotype, then they're sinners based on like previous long-term beliefs. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So this first began in ancient Egyptian history. It was the first attributable time they discussed it in the second millennium BC. That's how long we've been thinking women
That's
be
a
cray.
long time.
That's how long women be cray, according to stereotypes. Oh, now this is really interesting. We're going to talk about vibrators real fast.
Okay.
So we ready to learn a little bit about the vibrators and how vibrators came about?
Yes.
So, when the vibrator emerged in the late 19th century, explains technology historian Rachel Maines in her book, The Technology of Orgasms, she explained it was intended as an electromechanical medical instrument to provide more reliable and efficient physical therapy to women believed suffering from hysteria, like she needed to have an orgasm. And it was welcome in advance. Doctors wanted it to do that for every opportunity to substitute other devices for their fingers, because I guess their fingers are considered sinful. So that the vibrator comes from hysteria.
So the vibrator
That's
comes from
stereotype.
hysteria because if you have an orgasm, then the hysteria will leave your body.
I guess.
Interesting.
Maybe men should just get better in bed.
Man, you're man shaming.
Sorry, I had to make that joke. It was there.
It's fine.
It was there.
We can laugh at it.
Okay, so we're typically expected to be calm and quiet, not talk back. You know, back in the day, I think I used to see these old advertisements, and don't quote me on it, but like old advertisements that was like how to please your man and be like a nice wife. You know what I mean? Like those old 50s advertisements. It dates back to a lot. Have you ever, though, Megan, it's happened to me. Have you ever been like just sitting there and you just have a face and you're just sitting there and you're just not smiling and men tell you, you look prettier when you're smiling?
I haven't had that. I can't think of a time that that's happened to me. But what I can say is that whenever I'm in a bad mood at work or at home, I don't think that the men in my life can handle it. And I think that
They're like, my God,
They're like-
she's hysterical.
yeah, they just want to fix it like instantly. Like, what's the matter? What did I do wrong? Well, it's just like, no, like
I'm just sitting.
I'm in a bad mood. Like, today is shit. This week is shit. Whatever it may be, it's shit. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with our relationship. But I do think that, you know, I've never been told to smile, but then at the same time, maybe that's saying we like you when you're happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't want to put up with you when you're
Annoyingly
Yeah.
sad. That's like when men tell me, oh, I hate crying. I'm like, okay.
You're like, well, guess what?
Guess what? I'm a crier. And then, okay, so politeness thing. Can you talk about that concept on My Favorite Murder? Because we both listen to that podcast. Like, where is that coming from?
I thought that it was with an episode quite a while ago, and My Favorite Murder is both one of our favorite podcasts. It's with Georgia and Karen, and they literally talk about murders that happen. And I think it was a woman felt like she was going to be impolite if she wasn't going to get in the car with somebody, or if she wasn't going to. She ended up getting murdered, but it came back to the fact that she was going to be impolite if she wouldn't have done something with this man. And then that's when I think it was Georgia said politeness.
Yeah, and they keep saying it. Like, don't get into the car with someone.
Yeah.
Don't have an extra talk with someone, or just straight up ignore a stranger that's trying to talk to you. Like, that happens to me all the time where I'll have a stranger talk to me and I'll just straight up ignore them. And they'll be like, but it will be like creepy. They'll be like, come here, let me see something. Or like, come here. Like, and I'm just like, no. They're like, come here to my car. I'm lost. Can you give me directions? And I just like keep walking.
Yeah. So you
I politeness.
have you ever been asked to smile? Like if you're just sitting there?
Yeah. Like when I like moved to Colorado for the first time, and I was like, well, for the only time when I moved to Colorado, I didn't have a lot of friends. So I used to go to bars like by myself sometimes. And guys would like come up to me and be like, why aren't you smiling? I'd be like, I'm just sitting eating. So
Yeah.
so please don't tell me to smile. Do you ever feel like you owe someone something? Like if you said something, sorry, Binks is meowing and crying. Like, do you ever feel like you've owed anyone something?
I'm sure I have.
You just like feel too polite to say no. I can think of a time.
Okay, do it.
Well, hope this might inhibit our chance of making them a sponsor one day.
Oh, yes, do it. Say it.
One of the box subscriptions for meals, Megan, it was approached and we were just trying to make a deal. Like me, I was just trying to talk to them, and she was like, would you be interested in like subscribing? And I wasn't, so I just didn't say anything. And I was just talking to her about our podcast, and Megan's like, sure.
I got all those effing meals that I didn't want for like how long? 2 weeks?
But why did you say yes?
Because I felt like I was being rude if I didn't. I should have politeness.
Yeah.
God,
you probably paid like $40 to $50.
I didn't want those stupid meals. No, you're never going to get anybody that makes those stupid meals.
And you're off and you're out of $50.
And I'm out of $50. The thing is, though, they are good meals. They are good meals.
We didn't even say the name of them yet.
I know.
So it could be any of the meal subscription
Well, all the
boxes.
ones that I've tried like 3 or 4.
Yeah, me too. They're all pretty good.
They're good.
Sponsor us.
They're good. It's good food. I just, like, even those meals that are only supposed to take 10 minutes, they literally take me 2 hours.
Yeah, I know.
Des can do it in 30 minutes. But I'm so slow. I'm the slowest cooker ever.
Oh, I love taking time on cooking.
Oh my God, I hate it.
Oh, really?
I hate it.
It's like my like downtime.
Mm-mm.
You don't like it?
Mm-mm.
What if you're with people that you like and you're cooking a big meal?
The other person can cook and I can watch.
Shots fired. So when we were cooking the other day, you weren't enjoying it?
I loved it because I just had to cut up like one thing and then you did the rest. So, I mean, that's fine with me. I just got to sit there. I was totally fine.
Epic. Okay, so you're a bitch in the workplace if you express yourself too much bluntly. You know, when you're just being honest and you just say, get this done, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
I've heard that in movies mainly. I haven't heard it at my current workplace. I know a lot of my coworkers work there. They actually are very nice to women there. But like I have heard in other places women be called bitches like behind their back for not doing it. Even actually my stepmom, hopefully she doesn't mind, like she like walked in on one of her former like employees calling her a bitch.
Oh man, that must have been so awkward.
Guess who got fired though?
Guess who doesn't work there anymore?
Guess who doesn't work there? And
Your
ironically, it was
is
the same woman that set my dad and her up.
Really?
Yeah.
That is so funny.
But yeah, no, she's a really nice lady.
Bitch is the last adjective I would use to describe your stepmom.
I know. It's funny. So
how did your dad know that woman?
Oh, it was his neighbor.
Oh.
So we awkwardly had to run into them all the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Taco. Or it was like his neighbor's girlfriend, I think. They eventually broke up, but until they broke up, they had to see each other.
That is so funny.
Yep. Or I've apologized for being a bitch when I just am trying to get something done, though, where I'll be like, sorry if I'm being bitchy, but can you get this done?
You're being polite, though, by apologizing before that.
Which is bad. Yeah. Politeness. I should just tell them to do something.
And we should we take the word bitch out of our vocabulary?
I think so. It's hard.
It's really hard, but we should.
We should. Definitely. Damn it. We definitely should. Let's do it. So apologizing too much also comes from like politeness thing. And you know what it actually shows? It shows an imbalance of power and can erode relationships and self-esteem. And that's from a Forbes article by Melody Wilding. But yeah.
So we should stop apologizing for stuff that we don't even feel that sorry about.
Well, yeah, or just apologizing as a prelude to something that you're going to say that's just like a common request. You know, I'm sorry for bugging you, but can you do this? Or if you like at all are in a bad mood and you just apologize for it, like it's okay to be in a bad mood sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the word just. Have you ever thought of that? The word just is me trying to be polite, but it actually kind of shows weakness is what I've read in a lot of articles.
I use just in every single email. Oh, I just wanted to reach out to you.
Just say it. Why can't you just say it?
Yeah, why can't I just say I wanted to reach out to you?
What makes it impolite? By just saying I wanted to reach out to you.
This is, oh my gosh, I need to do that from now on.
See? By saying just, it makes you seem like, excuse me.
Sorry, I just wanted to see how things were going.
Can I just check in? I'm just a calm little lady.
Maybe I can just perhaps get you a job.
I don't mean to be a nag, but do you want a free employment? See?
Yeah.
Like, why are we saying just? And I'm definitely guilty of that. So a New York Times piece talks about apologizing too by Sloane Crosley. She says, the sorries are taking up airtime that should be making logical declarative statements, expressing opinions, and relaying accurate impressions of what we want.
Perfect.
And I just wanted to say something to men in general. Women don't owe you anything because you're a man. If she makes the choice and you don't like it, or says something and you don't like it, end of story. She shouldn't have to apologize because therefore she's apologizing for her gender. She can make that best choice for her life. End of story.
Bam.
Sorry.
Bam.
Sorry.
Kenzie went out with a bang.
I mean,
perfect.
I'm just tired of apologizing. Okay.
So what do we learn from this? We need to stop saying just.
And when you're sorry, I'm not telling people not to admit when they're wrong.
Right.
Like if you really fucked up,
then apologize.
Yeah. But if like you didn't, just say, hey, I'm sorry. Or no, don't say I'm sorry. Dang it. And say just. Don't say just.
Don't say just say, hey, I need you to do this.
Right. Because why is that bitchy?
It's not.
Thank you. So Megan, I have a really good thing that we can finally share. Will be both of our good things that we can finally share.
Okay.
Chelsea's pregnant.
Chelsea's having a baby.
Finally.
And it's a girl.
So we get our little girl, our little feminist.
And Charlotte also announced on Instagram, so I feel like I can say it too.
Tell us the news about Charlotte. Charlotte's her best friend.
Charlotte is having a boy. So I have a niece and a nephew, and I'm so excited about it.
Congratulations. I'm excited.
I know.
We're going to be aunties soon. Oh my gosh. And they're only a few months apart.
Mm-hmm.
Have she decided on a name at all?
She did. She had the middle name like set, and then I think they were working on a couple of first names.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Yeah, Chelsea doesn't have a name yet.
We'll see.
We'll see what she's going to be. I'm so excited. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.